It's Saturday the 7th of December 2024 and last night the government has issued an alert for a red storm in Wales, and that means that this storm coming is going to be a threat to life. So let's see how the garden does in the storm. It's 2 o'clock now and the storm was supposed to last until 11. It's still going strong. It's still blowing an absolute gale in the garden. And if anything, it seems to be getting worse, not better. My poor John Phillips is being blown to bits out here. And my fence behind has split. But I'll just have to wait for the storm to pass and then come out and see if there's any real damage in the garden. But at the moment, I think it's time to go in and stay safe indoors. I'll come back out when the weather calms down a bit. Sunday morning now, and it's time to go and investigate and see what's happened in the garden. I could see as soon as I came out through the front door that we have lost a little bit of our fencing, but that's nothing that can be replaced. So let's have a little look around now and see what's gone on. Right, well, looking down now towards the greenhouse, you can see that there's bits of the trees that have come down onto the pathways. And there's the fence there that's missing a big section. go down and have a little look, see what's gone on. Yes, it'll just have to be picked up, that's all. Nothing major that can be replaced. Just a big gap now in the fence. More rubbish over the pathways from the conifer trees. But on the upside, the greenhouse, although a little bit dirty, is still standing strong. We are quite lucky here, I suppose, because the greenhouse is tucked away in a very sort of secluded spot. Although it's in the centre of the garden, it is tucked away underneath the conifers, and it has got a lot of the neighbour's garden behind, which has got a lot of overgrown honeysuckle, so I think that sort of takes a bit of the wind away from it. It has calmed down a lot out here, but there's still a little bit of wind. Let's go down the garden and have a look. Considering the way that all this was blown about yesterday, I'm quite surprised. We saw what the bamboo was like, and that's still standing strong. The bananas still tucked away, and one of them has still got their cover on. Oh, I think we've been quite lucky, to be honest. There's another little split in the fence in there. But considering the winds that we had last night, just a lot of mess on the paths. And there's one of the yoghurt pots there. And that's what I use to cover the top of the bananas. But everything out here is still standing. I can't believe it. How's the tetrapanax looking? And there's one leaf there on the floor. But these were really battered about yesterday. Just moving around here. The miscanthus still standing strong. Amazing. The fabric roof of the pergola, that has come down, and all this is just a pull back roof with fabric on some poles. So we did have it on a pulley system, but unfortunately that snapped. But I'm hoping that I can just clip this back up, and when the wind dies down, I'll come down and have a little bit, or come out and have a little bit of a better look at it. But all in all, I think we've been lucky. Even the bamboo is still standing in the pot. The triangular section underneath the conifer trees. This is probably the bit of the garden that's taken the most force. And we're quite lucky really, because this is just next to the greenhouse. And it's just these pathways now to brush up and get them looking back tidy again. It still hasn't really calmed down completely, and it's bitterly cold out here this morning. If you are a regular viewer to my channel, you'll know that what I'm going to say next is really going to be sad for me. But I think the time has come that I'll have to cut back this salvia. The wind from the storm has caused it to go all dry and crispy. And the trouble is, I don't want it blowing about where I might damage the plant in any way. So I'm going to get my secateurs now and give it a good old haircut. Right, so later on now, Sunday afternoon, and we have managed to take down the canopy. I think one of the poles is bent, so I don't know if it's salvageable, but we'll have a look at it in the spring and see what we can do. Just tidied up a little bit around the edges, add a little bit of a brush up, and it's now looking a lot tidier. Trimmed back the poor salvia until next spring anyway. Looking forward to that coming up again. That really was a lovely plant this year. I have also been around the garden and just tidied up a little bit, brushed all the pathways up, and it's now looking a lot better than it did this morning. Just looking down here, I've trimmed all the old foliage off the hellebores, and that there is just coming through with some new growth. I've tried to clear up as much of the old leaves as possible, and also put on some new yogurt pots, and just hiding under there. That's another hellebore there that's coming into flower, so again I just trimmed off the old foliage there, and that's ready now for the colder weather. So moving through the garden now. I haven't bothered tidying up too much in these borders here. I've picked up the fallen sticks, but I have tried to clear up these pathways a little bit, and again just been out with the hoe and just turned over a little bit of the earth just to make it look a little bit tidier. And also you'll see that some of the tetrapanax was looking a little bit scruffy, so I've just removed one or two of them leaves. They were split anyway and really dry, so now I can walk up and down the pathway again. The Arundodonnax I've just tied back out of the way. I did have them tied back before to a wooden stake, but obviously in the wind the garden twine snapped through, and that's why they were blowing all over the place. But I'm a lot happier now that the garden is back in a little bit of shape, ready for the colder weather. I've also had a little go at tidying up the triangular bed, and it's lovely to see a little bit of winter sunshine, even if it is only in a small triangle at the back of the garden. But I'm pleased now that we've got through the worst of the storm without any serious damage. So thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.